John, how's the squad looking going into undoubtedly yet another huge game?
Relatively unscathed, one or two bumps and bruises from Monday, but relatively unscathed, and good to get Tommy back on the pitch and trying to impact the game. So yeah, it's not too bad.
Can you sense that the return of some of these players that you've been without for so long made such an impact on Good Friday particularly?
Well, it did. You know, we've had this propensity this season of going up and down with performances, and we've got to start putting back-to-back performances together. Got two huge home games coming up now, and we can only really focus on the first one. So it is good to have like Coleman and Ethan back and getting Tommy back on the pitch here. But it's going to be a long, hard slog, and we've got to be up for the fight.
Yeah, 6. They call them cup finals, John. The cup finals doesn't really do it justice, does it?
Probably not. No. You've got to learn to play through pressure, through expectancy, and you need a little bit of luck. But you've got to try and force your luck so that it can go in your favour, and that you only do that by playing in the other team's half. And we've got to try and do that more. We didn't against Sheffield Wednesday. We were on the back foot pretty much from the get-go. So we've got to find a way to do that. Get on the front foot, attack teams, make chances, and hopefully score goals.
It would have offered you 3 points out of the Easter weekend before you went into it. Would you have been relatively satisfied?
I'm at a stage now where I can't be accepting defeats. So if you give me 9 points out of 6 now, I might take it. Out of 6 games. So do the maths.
Is that going to be a tall order? 3 wins out of 6?
It is, but you've got to believe we can. Our performances over the season possibly haven't been anywhere near like we want them to be, but we've had big performances in certain games, and we've just got to try and put them together now. Winning obviously breeds confidence. Winning gets the fans' tails up, and we haven't had many good Saturday performances at home. You know, the good performances have come either on a Tuesday night or during the night on a Friday, or during the day on a Friday, sorry. So we've got to try and get the Saturday performances right, and we've got a couple of really big ones. We've got to get every performance right, but we've got to start making this ground a fortress. It felt like it on Friday, and we've got to try and replicate that atmosphere.
How do you get that? How do you get that atmosphere, John? What's the key to it?
You've got to give the fans something to be enthused about. So fans will always recognise hard work and appreciate hard work. And so if you do that from the start, you put the teams on the back foot, then your fans want you to be having shots. They don't want to be seeing shots going against you. So you've got to try and play the game in the other team's half, and then that gets the fans up, which in turn gets the players up, and it's like a spiral that can either go down when you're going badly, or you can go up, but you can spiral upwards as well. And so that's what we've got to look for. We've got to look to feed off each other, really. But we've got to create our own spirit on the pitch, and we did that Friday, and then we've got to try and replicate that again.
How much of this is going to be down to luck over 6 games? I think Morecambe have got 4, everyone else has got 5 or 6, haven't they? Is Lady Luck going to have some part in this, or actually after 46 games do you just say, if you're under the line, you haven't been good enough?
Well, if you are under the line, you haven't been good enough. That's the harsh reality, but there is certain reasons why you are under the line, and we've had lots of luck this season, predominantly bad. But we can't start just bemoaning that. We can't start making excuses. It's all about action. It's all about what you do on the pitch. And we've got an opportunity that we've got to try and grasp. we've got to fight for everything, every second ball, every throw in, every corner, every free kick, every challenge, every shot we make, every block we make. Starting to sound like Sting there, man. Every step you take. Yeah, I know you're laughing there, James. No, we have, and I think the players are getting to the stage now, certainly the senior ones, where they recognise it, and we've got to hope that their experience rubs off on the others, and they can then drag them up with them.
It's very easy for us all to talk about fans and how important they are, and we hear so many managers say it. Like you say, back-to-back home games here. You know what this crowd are like when they're on your side and when things are tough. And things are tough right now. So they usually rise to the occasion, don't they?
Well, what I will say is I wouldn't want any other set of fans other than ours. That's for sure. Because you say when they're on our side, they're always on our side. Here. Yeah, you get the odd dissenters from the main stand. But, you know, the Clayton ends, like, they suck the players forwards. They're ever supportive. The away travelling has been absolutely magnificent this season. The way they've supported us, the way they've clapped us off numerous defeats. And I wouldn't want anybody else behind us rather than us. They're the ones I'd want. And hopefully we can repay their faith.
It's like the times of need at this club that Clayton end have been there, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think this game is... I mean, we've got a couple of these games to come. But it's getting into the realms of when we played Macclesfield here early on when we went into the league, and, you know, we knew that we couldn't afford not to win. And we're getting into them realms now.
Yeah, you're facing a club who were in a relatively similar position not too long ago. They had a January where they could bring in some players. What have you made of Fleetwood?
Well, they're a good side. You know, they played well against us in the second half when they beat us 3-0. I thought we probably shaded the first half, and I was just bitterly disappointed with how we come out the second half. We were terrible and they were very good. And they've signed good players, and they've got a good squad. You know, a manager who, you know, you'd like to think he's on the forward trajectory. And it's going to be a tough game, but we know that we can compete. We played Plymouth here, and for the big periods of the game we were the better team and they were top of the league at the time. We did the same to Portsmouth here with 10 men, Plymouth for the big periods with 10 men. So we know we can compete at home. We've got to turn that competing into winning, and that's the currency that we need.
Is there a sense that you want to show Fleetwood Town that you're better than you were at Highbury in that second half, John? Because that game is seen as a bit of a yardstick. It was an occasion where you had the players in the next day. There was a lot of words said that after following that game, and you used it as we need to turn the corner after this, didn't you?
I don't want to show Fleetwood Town it. I want to show us. I want our players to realise that they can be, that, you know, that they can't let Fleetwood do to us what they did last time in the second half. So I don't want to show Fleetwood anything. I just want to beat them, and not because it's Fleetwood, because we desperately need 3 points, and our players have to understand that.
You've got Jaden Stockley coming up against you. I think, if I'm right, he was probably one of the last signings that you made before you left to go to Rochdale here. It's a long time ago, that, isn't it?
It is, yeah. No, I think Michael Smith was probably the last signing I made before. We had Jaden for a bit as a kid on loan from Bournemouth. Great character. Myself and John Doolan bumped into him in Charlotte Richard Services the other week. John bought him a coffee. Lovely lad, and a good footballer. You know, we've come across him numerous times, and it'd be great to see him. Hope he does great between now and the end of the season, just not Saturday.
Do you look on with any tinge of envy that what he could do to your team?
Well, you know, you're getting into the affordability bracket there, and you know the numbers are coming out every week about how much losses clubs are suffering here, and thankfully we've got an owner whose feet are firmly on the ground. he realises the situation and the importance of having a stable club and not gambling the club's future. So whatever guise this club is in when I'm long gone and Andy's long gone, the club will still be here, and that'll be down to a lot of hard work that's gone on before Andy came here, by keeping the club afloat and keeping them solvent, and then by prudent governance over the last 6 or 7 years from Andy, and building an infrastructure that should last for a long, long time. The temptation is to throw money at problems, and that can get you into a lot of problems, a lot of trouble, as numerous clubs have found out. I still go back to one of the proudest things that since myself and Jimmy have been here, and latterly John doing, is that we've never gone into admin. And a club of our size trying to compete at this level, and no disrespect because we're a small town, so I can't knock the fans who come there, and absolutely magnificent, and the people who come in here and put their hard-earned cash in. So I can't fault anybody around here or any of our fans, but we should be prime candidates to go into admin. So the fact that we haven't, and again down to a lot of hard work by a lot of people, I think that's testament to the ethics of this club and how hard people have worked.
What sort of game are you expecting Fleetwood to pose for you?
Fleetwood are the type of team, or they're in the position, the type of team that can be very, very difficult to play against, because they can play with freedom. They won't be tense. They can enjoy their attacking options, and so they're often. I mean, there's different types of teams that you're playing. You're playing teams at the top who are fighting to get promoted, playing teams at the bottom, and then people always say, "Oh, the ones who are in the middle there, they've got the slippers on." Well, they haven't. They're the ones who can be really, really difficult because they can play with freedom, and sometimes you play better when there's no pressure on you.
You had that exact situation this time last year, didn't you?
Yeah, and I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be an open game, and we've got to hope that it's an open game played in their half. And if it's an open game played in their half, it gives you a better chance of winning.
Just ask you finally, John, Sheamus Keneally we've not seen for some time now. Is there a hope that you'll see him at some point, or is it not looking likely?
Well, he's been running. I said to him the other day, how is it? And he says, I'm okay when I run like this. I said, well, run like that then. So we're really keen to get him back because of his experience. His fight, his drive, his will to win is unbelievable. And it'd be a big, big boost if we could get him back before the end of the season, but we're not going to try and wreck his career by rushing him back.